I prayed about turning my clinic into a Christian clinic for months. Every sign was already there, from the clients that God kept sending me to every conversation leading somehow into a faith talk. And I just kept praying about it instead of doing the thing God called me to do, because honestly, I was scared, and prayer was probably the most respectable way for me to say that. It was a crutch. That got me thinking about how often in life we are thinking something is faith when it's actually just avoidance. So here are 5 things you might be doing that's not faith, but instead avoidance. Number 1, praying about a decision you've already gotten clarity on. That was me with the clinic. I had the discernment already. I just didn't take action. I didn't want to be responsible for what was going to come next, and I was afraid I was going to lose clients. But God spoke. Number 2, staying silent and calling it discernment. You're telling yourself you're going to wait for that perfect moment to have that hard conversation when really you just don't want the conflict that comes along with it. Even though the Lord had already promised that he'll give you the words you need if you ask. Number 3, running yourself into the ground and calling it sacrifice. I used to think that if I was exhausted, it proved that I was faithful. But honestly, the Lord calls us to rest. Our body is his dwelling place, and it cannot be filthy and burnt out, because how's he going to stay in there? Number 4, quoting a scripture instead of doing what is pointing you towards. Now, I know some of you guys have done this. You're saying be anxious for nothing, but you haven't even addressed what the anxiety is or what's even making you anxious. Instead, you're just doing affirmations and not really exercising the faith and the spirit and authority that God has given you. Number 5, you're waiting for a sign instead of using the wisdom that God has already given you. The word says that if you ask for wisdom, he'll give it to you generously. We don't need an elephant crossing the highway for a sign on what he's already told us to do. You have to get honest about what's actually happening. And when I got honest, it changed everything, because avoidance is always reasonable in that moment. And on the days I generally don't know what to pray, I go into the prayer space inside of the revival room, and it gives me prompts on what to say and scriptures to start the conversation with God when I'm stuck. So prayer becomes what prepares me to move instead of what I'm avoiding. And if any of these sound familiar to you, it might be worth asking yourself which one you're doing right now. Screenshot this, go ahead, I'll wait. And if you need another reminder, then